of the toys. So we encourage them to use their natural foraging skills and natural foraging behaviors to try any way they can to get that yummy, tasty food out of those huge floating toys there. Looks like some of our gals are already cracking the code, already munching on a couple of those treats there. Now on exhibit, we do have 4 of our residents. So on exhibit currently is Kit, Ivy, Selka, and Ruby. They're all really having fun this afternoon with their floating toys. Look at that. One of my favorite types of feedings here at the aquarium. Now on the menu today for our otters, all inside, stuffed inside of those toys are some of their favorite foods. And it might be some of your favorite foods too. So for example, inside of those toys are some squid, some shrimp, and some shelled clam. All the good stuff, right? Maybe we're gonna order a little bit of that down Cannery Row later this afternoon. But all the foods I just listed, the squid, the shrimp, the clam, that is all soft, squishy foods, right? But you see, out in the wild, sea otters like to eat invertebrates, or animals that are encased in hard shells. So you can think of crabs and urchins and abalone. So what sea otters, what they do in the wild is that they like to hang on to their favorite rock, and they'll use that rock or another hard surface to crash and bash open those shells so they can get into that yummy, squishy center that they enjoy. The folks here on exhibit, we learn quickly, and we actually learn the hard way. Because at one point in time, we did give our otters food with shells on exhibit. But we learned very quickly that when we did, their favorite tool, their favorite hard surface to bash open those shells, were actually those clear, pristine windows you're looking through right now. So they were scratching up those windows a bit with those hard shells. So we learned our lesson to keep those windows nice and clear so you can all keep getting amazing views. We'll now give them the soft, squishy food on exhibit, and then we'll frequently give them the hard-shelled food behind the scenes. But that's where these awesome toys come into play as well. Much softer of a surface. So they are more than welcome to bash those toys up against the rocks or up against the windows if you'd like. And truly, everyone is happy, both otters and animal care team. Now, looks like our gals are still going at it. We have a few of them still cracking the code, maybe getting all of those bits out. They will not stop until they get every last crumb out of those toys, I promise you. But not only do they love the food that's inside of these toys here, but they have to eat a lot of it. So for example, if you've had a chance to visit any of our touch pools this afternoon, you might have noticed the water is very cold, right? And sea otters, including our residents, essentially spend their entire lives in this cold water. So one way that they keep themselves warm is that they have to upkeep their incredibly fast metabolism. And to do so, they have to eat around 1/4 of their body weight, 25% of their body weight every single day. It's about 9 to 10 pounds of food per otter per day. Now, just to show you how impressive that is, if you did want to eat like a sea otter for a day, it would be like if one of us had to eat 20 large pizzas or 40 cheeseburgers all by ourselves every single day. Now, I had lunch a little bit ago. I will respectfully decline. Maybe there's a few brave souls among us that might take that challenge. But big props to our gals, right? So that's why throughout the day, we'll have multiple feeding sessions, multiple enrichments, kind of like this one, where it acts like breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and dessert on top of that. So they will get all that they can get, folks. Now, it's really beneficial for our sea otters to go ahead and practice these natural foraging skills because not only does it benefit them, but it also benefits their wild counterparts in the pups they raise behind the scenes. Now, they do that because all of our residents here, they are surrogate foster mothers. So all of our sea otters are deemed non-releasable by the U.S. Department of Fish and Wildlife, meaning that they're going to stay with us for continued human care. But all of our residents are participants in our one-of-a-kind-in-the-world sea otter surrogacy program. So that means that whenever the Monterey Bay Aquarium rescues an injured or abandoned pup out in the wild, one of our sea otters you see on exhibit will put her motherly instincts into action and go behind the scenes and raise that otter pup just like it was her own. So teach them all they need to know on how to thrive. So how to hunt, how to forage, how to groom, how to live independently. So they are ready to be successful once they are released to the wild. So that's why these toy sessions, not only great for them to retain these skills, but also they can properly pass them on to those pups behind the scenes. Really a fun time. So as always, a big thank you to our residents for all the amazing work they do to helping out their wild counterparts. But folks, I did mention, so we are helping out how to conserve these amazing species out in the wild, because at one point, these otters almost went extinct. So back in the 1800s, during the fur trade, sea otter populations were nearly decimated. And the only otters left were 50 otters, 50, off the coast of Big Sur, not too far from here. The only reason that 50 was able to survive is because they tucked themselves in a part of Big Sur that was inaccessible to boats or humans. But we found that final 50, and people just like you and I really wanted to step up and fight for their conservation, protect these amazing animals.